Welcome, staff and students. In this presentation, we're going to go over play number 1 of the first 5 plays. And in this slide, we're going to talk about class procedures and expectations for one-to-one devices this school year.
Your learning target for today is I will understand and follow the expectations of learning in a digital classroom, as well as I will organize my courses in Schoology with blue days in row 1 and gold days in row 2.
You'll notice as you travel around the building this school year, there will be posters up with FCPSOn 6 Keys to Success. Those 6 keys to success are as follows. Number 1, password. At some point during the school year, you're going to be asked to change your password. Please make sure you do this promptly and that you follow these guidelines. It should be a minimum of at least 8 characters, 1 uppercase letter, 1 lowercase letter, and 1 number must be used. Number 2 is personal devices. If you're using your FCPSOn device, there really isn't a need for any other personal devices to be used, unless otherwise stated by an administrator or a teacher. Number 3 is restarting your computer. This one is very, very important. So bringing your FCPSOn device and making sure that you restart it at least twice a week will really lessen any issues that you have with your FCPSOn device this school year. Number 4, make sure that each night you charge your device, and so that way it's ready to go and can probably last most of the day here at school with whatever activities you may need during class. Number 5 is when you leave your devices, make sure you lock the screen. That way nobody can kind of play around with your computer and mess with your work or mess with your settings on your device. And so you can do that by either doing Control-Alt-Delete or the Windows key and L. And then lastly is make sure that you join your grade level Schoology group. That's going to provide you a lot of information from your administrator on things that are coming up.
Students, please take a look when you enter class to see if your teacher is going to be using laptops. There will be signs posted in every classroom. If your sign says yes, that means your teacher is going to be actively using your FCPSOn device during class. And if your sign says no, that means your laptops will not be used during that class period. And also storing your phones is a helpful way to help you focus on your class content. On the next slide, Mr. Pomedy will talk about the different levels of your laptop.
To make sure that you're focusing during your class period. So level 0 is when you're not really going to be using your laptop. The lid needs to be closed. If there's charging stations, that might be a good time to charge your laptop. Level 1, again, is just kind of partially closed. So maybe your teacher is providing some instruction before you get started on a digital activity. So you may just want to kind of lower the screen again to about a 45-degree angle before getting started. So that way you're focusing on the instructions in class. And then level 2 is it's open and ready to use. Maybe you're getting ready to engage or already engaging in some digital activities.
If you are having trouble paying attention in class, your teacher will go through a set of steps to manage off-task behavior. Here's what you will experience, and we want to go through this with everyone just so that you are aware and well informed. If you are not paying attention, your first encounter with your teacher will be a redirection, probably a verbal cue. And then if that doesn't work, the teacher will remind you that you need to pay better attention. Third, if you are still not paying attention, your teacher may pull you aside and have a conversation about your off-task behavior and possibly provide you with an alternative assignment that doesn't involve a laptop. Say, for example, you're supposed to be working on something in your Google Suite, but you're on YouTube listening to videos. This is a classic example of a student not paying attention, and you may be given an alternate assignment to deal with that behavior. If it continues, your teacher has every right to contact your parent as well as an administrator. So please be good learners, active learners, and try and minimize off-task behavior when on a computer. It's very tempting to open another tab and go somewhere else, but really you're here to do your schoolwork.
So expectations for appropriate digital behavior, we're going to go over the 4 points here. Students are not allowed to film or photograph people in the school building without their permission. That's just being a good digital citizen. Students are expected to use appropriate academic language when completing schoolwork in a digital environment. Students are not allowed to share others' work with people in the school building, again, without their permission. And then lastly, students are expected to adhere to the academic honesty policy and to operate with integrity in the digital learning environment.
Robinson Secondary School has a team of staff members called T-SPECs. It stands for Technology Support Specialist. One of their main tasks in this building is to assist students with their FCPSOn devices. There may be days when we have no Wi-Fi. You also need to be resilient learners and adapt to some different ways of learning if that happens. It has happened a couple times in the past, so just be aware of that. If you need help with your laptop, please visit the Robotech Help Desk in E108 in the lower E wing. Students cannot get a loaner laptop if they forget their laptop. So if that happens to you, you're going to have to do your assignment in an alternative manner. And remember to bring your laptop, then you can go back and make up that work. But there are not enough laptops to give students loaners when they forget theirs. So be responsible and remember to pack it up the night before you leave your house.
As far as cell phones go, there are expectations, and we encourage the teacher to pause the video at this time and go over the expectations that they have around cell phone and personal devices in their classroom.
So Schoology is new for staff and students this year. So we also wanted to take a minute during this first play of learning in a digital environment to remind you of how you get into Schoology. You have a desktop icon. That's one way that you can get in. If your icon's not working, you can also go to lms.fcps.edu. I would encourage you to open Google Chrome and to bookmark that web address. We are going to end play one with an activity today. After we finish this video, your teacher is going to play a video called Organizing Your Schoology Course Landing Page Icons so that you get a easy to follow arrangement of your courses. Your blue days should all be on the first row and your gold days should all be on the second row after this activity is completed.